Players are going to start feeling their positions a little bit more. It's just going to happen. I mean, we're not going to have the worst record in baseball all year. It's just not going to happen.
You know what? When you have that talent, I don't think that your team's going to be that bad. I think that they went through the worst stuff they're going to go through all year. And if they do make it and go all the way, there's going to be a lot of reporters, there's going to be a lot of fans that are going to be, you know, the players are a little bitter. People don't realize that when you get booed,
you're looking at one right now.
Well, he's a cut for you. The difference between the Cubs and the White Sox this year, the Cubs this year are not supposed to be good. So if they have a good season, they're going to surprise people. The White Sox, you know, they're supposed to be really good. You know, but the way the fans have reacted and the media, you know, they do come out and they're good. You know, fans better not be bitter when, you know, players are not, you know, they could care less.
Question: if you look at this team, do you see this team as a World Series team?
You know what? I've learned throughout the years that no team's a World Series team until you get into the playoffs. Do I believe they have the pitching and the power and if everything was right to have one? Yeah, I do. In 2005, if anybody told me that team, when they looked at it in spring training, was going to win a World Series, it's full of it. Yeah, I've been part of two of them. Marlins in 03, which actually I was there in Wrigley, 6 outs away. Yeah, if you want to those two teams, you know, no one ever thought they were going to be there. Most of the time, it's a team that surprises. But it's very rarely teams like the Yankees that you know are going to be there from the beginning. But the other teams that are favored, they do the World Series. I think like in any sport, I think like in football, it's always a team that surprises. I think NBA is the only one that it's the most consistent in championships.
The White Sox right now, again, on that 3-game winning streak. What do you see from Carlos Quentin, who is killing us this year? I mean, I'm not talking all-star, all-star numbers, but I'm not saying MVP-wise. But he broke out again. I mean, we didn't expect this. I know I didn't.
I think health. I think Carlos' deal has always been if he's healthy, he can play well. If he's not, he's going to hurt a team. But right now he's healthy, he's feeling great, and as long as he's healthy, he's going to put up his numbers. He's a really, really good baseball player.
Speaking of health, Jake Peavy is supposed to come back and make his debut tomorrow. Do you think that he's going to be able to actually contribute to this team and stay healthy, hopefully, and avoid the DL the rest of the season?
I think the key for Jake is, you know, coming out throwing 5 innings, being able to throw in 6 days, right? So they're going through a 6-man rotation. I think the goal for him is going to be stay healthy. But people are going to expecting that Jake's going to come out here and throw 8 innings shot out the first time he throws.
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. You know, health-wise, what I'm expecting from him, I think what the team's expecting from him is throw a couple innings, you know, show that he can pitch and hopefully build up. So, you know, until September.
Exactly. And so you think a 6-man rotation is not really, you know, obviously not, it's pretty out of the norm in MLB nowadays. Do you think that's going to...
You know what? I think that's the biggest, you know, I think it's all mental. But pitchers are like, you know, like with our routine, we go on 5 days. I think if I could go on 6 days, I would love that because it's 1 day extra than rest.
Exactly.
You know, and you don't know. The reason I think it's better if it's better to go a 6-man rotation at this moment is because if you go to a 5-man rotation and Peavy breaks down like in the 2nd inning and your bullpen gets exhausted, and they say you have one, again, after all the games we've lost, we're gonna be in a lot of trouble.
Your bullpen's going to be in trouble. Yeah, exactly.
We're talking to Ozzie Guillen Jr. here on the Triple Threat Show. Ozzie, Jake Peavy. I mean, you obviously covered the Sox. Are you confident that this comeback will be his official strong comeback, and his shoulder is going to be fine? That he's not going to go back on the disabled list again? I mean, what's the situation with Jake right now?
Well, Jake defied all the odds coming back so soon. You know, he definitely surprised me. Jake's injury was never seen in baseball. You know, his procedure was, they tested on him, basically. Honestly, it's worked. And you know what? I think that Petey, you know, he's going to be a good pitcher. Are we ever going to see this Cy Young Jake Petey? Well, hopefully we do, but people don't realize that was like 6 years ago, which means Jake was 6 years younger. That's a mistake a lot of people make when they make moves for players. They expect the guy that who he was when he was 21, 22. Yeah, he's going to have a great year. I think he's still throw. Is he going to be Cy Young like that? I don't think so. But he will compete in the American League and he will get wins.
Now, you, by covering the Sox, you've done some work on 670 The Score. You're still broadcasting in Spanish?
Yeah, I do the Spanish broadcast for the White Sox, all the home games, and I do the Bulls broadcasting. For the Feds, now it's a little awkward because they have to cover the Cubs as well. But I've been doing basketball for 2 years, White Sox now since 06. And with the Score, I was over there for 5 years just doing Spanish, my 1-hour show, and now I'm just, you know, filling in here and there, but it's been fun. It's, you know, it's covering sports, and obviously you guys get to do it all the time. It's the best thing, it's the best job in the world.
How does your father do it? I mean, obviously we see his rants and press conferences, and you know, he's just all out. It doesn't matter. He doesn't care. He just goes and says what he says. How do you see it from your perspective as being his son when he does these press conferences and when he just
blatantly says when he, you know what, it's funny how people judge, you know, like people in the corporate world. You know, imagine coming into work, you know, you're usually the guy that's the highest paid guy in your office. You know, obviously we all have bosses. They make way more money than we do. But imagine being a boss of 25 guys that they all make more money than you do. Way more money, and they all have egos. So you have to come out and, you know, be that kind of a little dictator. It's awful because you can't be too strong, can't come off too strong to the players, but you can't come off too soft because they won't take it. I think being a coach in professional sports nowadays is 10 times harder because the scrutiny of, you know, back then, you know, 20 years ago, there was a guy with a, you know, with a recorder. Now there's, you know, media, there's social media. So everything you say, even before it gets in the paper, someone's writing it on Twitter. You know, someone on social media, it's already on YouTube. So I think that we're getting to get to know our coaches, their personality, how they really are. So I think it's a double-edged sword. It's good, but it's also, it can hurt if people think that someone's crazy.
Like you said, in today's day and age, scrutiny of the social media and stuff, and of course your father was suspended 2 games for his comments on Twitter. And I mean, what do you think about that policy the MLB had?
You know what? I think it's the most controversial policy they have because number one, I think the White Sox helped write that policy because of the story from beforehand. But I think it's funny how you get I think there should be a fine. I don't think $20,000. I think it's a little steep. I think there should be a suspension, maybe a game because it's in the rules. But they made it seem like he did something so wrong. This is the same league that makes coaches and players talk in between innings on national TV games.
Right.
And the part that I know what you're bringing up is that Major League Baseball did not find any of the guys that got caught with DUI. You know, which is
exactly.
It's illegal. And like, you know, there's a couple guys on the DUI list that are friends of mine, and unfortunately they got caught in that situation.
Repeat offenders as well.
And repeat offenders, and you know, that can happen to any of us because we're all human beings. But you're punishing something that if he caused no harm to anybody, maybe just people's opinion. But a DUI, you know, it's been almost 7 now. I think that, you know, a player passing away a couple of years ago, Earnhardt from the Anaheim Angels, you know, getting killed by a drunk driver. Now we've had 7 guys. I think the Major League Baseball needs to come up with a policy saying, hey, if you do this, you're going to get fined and you're going to get suspended because until there's a tragedy, which is going to be worse, I think Major League Baseball is focusing too much on the little things and not looking at the big picture.
Well, we'll see what happens. We have, again, Ozzie Guillen Jr. in studio, but we have to head to a quick break. Don't forget, you can call us right now, 312-884-8205, 312-884-8205. We also have an email. Where did you get?
TripleThreatShow3@yahoo.com. Once again, TripleThreatShow3@yahoo.com.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
No stress.